These are the 7 lessons that you should adopt if you're a divorced man in the dating marketplace. In fact, these lessons can be used no matter what your relationship status is, because at the end of the day, you just want to be happy in your relationships, but it requires growth to attract the right partner and keep her. This video is not going to be about dating advice or the ins and out of dating, but more of a mindset video to help you navigate the dating market as a divorced man. I'm Linnell, and this is the Malachi Project, where I help men navigate life as a do-it-yourself project and help them build themselves into the best version. So let's get into it. I was married for 7 years, and heading into the years towards my divorce, I had this nagging voice that if I ever got divorced, nobody would want me. I would be a failure, and women would think that I couldn't hold down a relationship, so why would I even start with him? Which brings us to the first lesson, which is that divorced men are not damaged goods. In fact, we come with something most other guys don't: experience. Experience in holding down a relationship when the stakes are much higher. If you come out of divorce feeling like you're trash or you have no value based on your past results, you go through a long period of depression and loneliness. You don't deserve that. In fact, no one does, honestly. It's the number one cause of early death, as studies have suggested that loneliness can increase the risk of heart disease by 29% and stroke by 32%. Which brings us to the second lesson, which is your social circle will be your best dating pool and your dating profile. Sadly, when you get divorced, you split everything, and sometimes that split isn't even. During my divorce, I found myself in a social circle with my wife at the time. We do events, we get invited to dinners, and that became our social circle. I had a few friends of my own, but since we lived in a college town and worked on campus, most of my social events were geared around that. So after the divorce, as you can imagine, my social circle just disintegrated, and I had to rebuild it myself. Now, dating apps are still good, but if you don't know how to work the algorithm or you don't know how to put up a good dating profile, you could be like the 97.2% that rarely gets a match. And that's really depressing. So, how do you start going on dates? How do you start rebuilding your life and start making yourself a desirable man? You build your social life again. You may miss the feeling of a warm body in your bed or the feminine nature right next to you, but build this aspect of your life first and you'll thank yourself way later. After my divorce, I found myself getting back into the fitness scene, and many of the women I didn't befriend before because I was loyal to my marriage, I started to befriend again. Most men don't understand that when you breed familiarity in a social circle, you become safe to women. You're not creepy because if other people know you, then you must be safe. This made going out on dates so much easier, and it made it easy to grab a cup of coffee or take a walk or just grab a bite to eat. Women were happy because, oh, that's just Linnell. He's been cool before. And this brings us to the third lesson, which is build a life that women want to enter. See, after my divorce, my life was in shambles. I didn't have a job. Obviously, I had a divorce and I was homeless. So who was I to think that a woman would want to enter my life? I was very wrong, and I'll reveal that towards the end of the video in one of the other lessons. But when you start to build a life that women want to enter, women were going to come, and they're going to come in droves. If your life is in shambles and you've got pieces that you need to pick up, you can date, but relationships won't be a successful portion of your life. Surprisingly, right after my divorce, I found myself in bed with another woman almost instantly, within a week. And she was great. She had a great place on the lake. She had a good job, and she was ready for a relationship and kids. But here's the problem. My life was in shambles. And as a man, I was in no position to start a new committed relationships. In fact, she offered many times that, hey, you can take care of your life and do it on my time as long as you're coming with me. But as a man, is that really where you want to be? If you're looking to be a house husband, this video is just not for you. But if you're looking to be the man and actually provide for a woman and be that desirable man, then keep watching the video. Sadly, my divorce put me in a tough spot, and I had to move in with a friend because I lost my job. Now, don't pity me one bit, because I'm sitting here in front of you sharing these lessons in a much better spot. As the years went along and I started to rebuild my life, I can see the power of designing my life intentionally. Women were happy to stay over at my house. They loved doing things with me because that's what I wanted to do, like traveling, working out, or even taking classes that I was interested in. Women were also happy to help me in my process because I was doing something purposeful and they wanted to add to my life and not take away. And as a man who didn't purposely design his life, you could be sitting in the passenger seat of a woman that's heading in a direction you don't want to head. Don't be that guy. And this brings me to the next lesson, which is you're going to have to say no a lot. This is important for every man to understand because as you start designing your life intentionally and start rebuilding your life that women want to enjoy, you're going to get proposals on a regular basis. You're going to get asked, why don't you want to get married? And I'm going to get to that in the next lesson, but let's be real. Having all those things makes you really, really attractive and desirable. Women will see that and they'll say, I need to wrap this guy up now. There was a specific instance where I met this really attractive woman at the gym and we hit it off immediately. It was a steamy relationship that was very short-lived because she was on residency and was going to move to another town within 3 months. Towards the end of the relationship, she proposed something that at the time, I could have taken, but I decided not to. Move back with me. I make enough money for both of us and you can do the things that I love. Ugh. So she was telling me that she wanted me to uproot my life and follow her. That's not a good look for any man. And even though I would have made a great house husband, I said no. And if you're watching this and have been demonstrating value in your life, you have to say no to proposals like this. It would have made sense if this was a part of my purpose. I was leaving too much in my own life for me to walk away from. This was not the only proposal that I got. This was just the most memorable one. Which brings me to my fifth lesson, which is answering the questions of, will you ever get married again? Now, this answer has evolved over time. Now, watching all the red pill content out there and watching all the women all over the internet really badmouth the dating pool really tainted my answer. But in the beginning, it was a clear-cut answer, no. I was not ever going to get married because I still had a fresh wound. The problem is you can't say that to a woman right off the bat. You have to leave the door open just enough, which is a bit of the fifth lesson, which is be upfront with your intentions. They're always going to ask you whether you want to get married again. But as you're starting relationships, be very intentional with what you're starting. For about a year after my divorce, anytime someone would ask me whether I wanted to get married, it was a clear-cut no. But I never really said no directly. I always backed it up with why I didn't want to get married and what my intention was for the relationship. For me, I shared how much I haven't dated in a really long time and I wanted to get back to taking things slow. I shared how I'm often blinded by love because at the core of myself, I really love to love and I never saw the red flags in a woman. Dating allows me to see it and assess it. Now, the women that I dated listened very carefully and heard the subtle hints that I was open, but not completely shut off to the idea of marriage. I haven't dated in a long time. I wanted to take things slow. I really love to love, so I was capable of it. And I wanted to make sure I see all the red flags. This is what I shared to women every time I dated. And for you, what you have to do is actually have a really good response that allows you to talk to women so that they understand that you are open, but you're not going to fall in love with the first person that you see. And for all the men out there, you definitely have to see the red flags and understand that they will pop up. And this brings me to the last lesson that I had to learn, which is you're going to want to screen for qualities that you want in a woman. Now, before my marriage, I'll be honest with you, I was lacking in the women department. I could count the number of women that I dated and been with maybe on two hands, possibly. I really didn't have enough experience with women. And to me, a great woman would be someone that would smile at me, kiss me, and let me touch her boobs. It was a very, very low bar for me. And after dating in those 7 years, I found that women will let you do that anyway. So why not ask for more? Men, if you see yourself as valuable, you will begin to treat your time and attention as valuable and begin to screen the specific qualities that you want in your life. There's a particular woman that I dated who was much younger than me, and by far she was the most attractive, and I adored her. I remember we were sitting at dinner and I asked her about her dating history. Being that she was much younger than me, she had only dated 2 men, and not very good men since he dated around her age. When she asked me what I wanted in a relationship, I didn't ask for bland qualities that most men would ask for: loyalty, cooks, cleans, and other bare minimums. I asked for things like the ability to make me laugh, loves to teach me something, wants to help me grow my business, and be adventurous. Now, if you say these things to an inexperienced woman who is attracted to you, this can be a bit daunting. How is she supposed to live up to this? Well, in the coming months, she demonstrated her value by buying funny books on our road trips. She got me on social media to help me with my business. I can credit being on YouTube with the fact that she introduced me to social media and helped me start. She talked to other people about me for my own business, and she was open enough to talk about her own sexual desires with me on a regular basis. All the things that drove me wild about her. But you're probably asking, well, why didn't you marry her? Well, I didn't screen for one thing. She was intensely jealous and ruined a bunch of relationships that I had with other women friends. So this is the reason why you need to be careful and screen very carefully. So to recap about the 7 lessons that you need to adopt when you're dating as a divorced man. Even as a divorced man, you are still valuable, even if you think you're not. You need to develop your social circle and make this your dating pool and make this your dating profile. You need to rebuild your life with hobbies, interests, social events, so that women can come into them and actually enjoy your life and not you enjoy theirs. But as you start to build your life, you are going to have to say no a lot. You will become that attractive man. So you're going to have to be ready to answer the question of why aren't you going to get married again? The next thing you're going to have to do is be upfront with your intentions. You may find that this may end relationships quickly, but if you practice lesson 3, you're going to be fine. And then finally, always be ready to screen for a woman that you're looking for. It's not about just being cute or being attractive or having a big butt. It's what you're going to do when the lights are off. What are you going to do when sex is not always an option? These are the things that's going to help strengthen a relationship and make the two of you a strong bond. I really hope you enjoyed this video. So tell me, what did you think about the 7 lessons? Please comment below. Let me know if there's other lessons that you have, even from the other divorced men that are out there. Or do you even have a lesson about your own relationships? Comment below. Tell me your thoughts. Also, leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps know that I'm actually putting out valuable content to everyone out there. I will be putting out content every Tuesday and Friday. So all you have to do is let me know what you would like me to put out. Thank you for watching.